Right, hi guys. So it's Kirsty with you again, this time with Susie as my glamorous assistant, and we are going to take you through a couple of other poses. So these little tutorials are just about us, I guess, troubleshooting with you some of the stuff that we know that we'd see in the studio if you were practicing with us together, and the tips and hints that we would give you if we were physically with you, and we're just trying to fill that gap online, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk Susie into a posture. She is going to do some of the things that we tend to see people doing in the studio, maybe because the cues that we're giving aren't as clear as perhaps they could be, or we know that certain things are really difficult for bodies to do. And then I'm going to show you the adjustments that she needs to make in order to get the pose correctly aligned. And this is all really just about keeping you safe in your practice at home. So today we are going to do the forward fold that comes after the back bend. So I'm going to get Susie standing in mountain pose. So feet together, yet arms down by your side. So your arms are normally over your head, fingers interlaced, thumbs locked, release your index fingers. Okay, so this is kind of where the pose starts. So bend your knees, send your body weight back, draw your belly button in, and as you exhale, start to reach forwards as you lower down. So this is where often things start to go wrong. So you can see here, Susie has got a round spine. So if you come back out, Susie, she is not using any of her core strength at all. And that's why things go wrong, because core strength means that you need to start working hard. So what our bodies tend to do is they cheat. They look for an easier route. So I actually want Susie to come down with a flat back. So there's a couple of things that she can do to make that happen. So bend your knees again, Susie, that's it. And then the first thing I'm going to ask her to do is to draw her lowest ribs in. And then it's really important that she pulls navel to spine. And now reaching forwards, but as she does, ribs in, belly in, reach forwards, lovely flat back now, and she's working hard. Exhale, breath, bring your hands to the floor. Okay, so normally here we do a little shimmy, a shake, a squat down a few times, we get into creaks, we get into cracks. And then it's an inhale breath to lengthen spine, and an exhale breath, bring belly to thighs. Now we ask you to wrap your hands back behind your legs. Now in class, we give you the option of holding onto elbows, which is always the safest place to start. Now Susie's going to make this look really easy because she's got actually really nice, good dimensions. And by good dimensions, I just mean even dimensions, which means her torso length to her leg length. And as you can see already, see how low Susie's elbows are below her knees. She's not going to struggle to pick up her heels at all. Now, based on your body dimensions, so arm length to leg length to torso length, your forward fold may or may not look like this. So you need to adjust for your body. But I'm going to get Susie and I'm going to say, Susie, pick up your heels from behind. And Susie does what most people do in class, which is, again, the easy route. So she's grabbed from the side. And so the reason why that's a problem is because now Susie's shoulders are falling forwards. They're kind of up around her ears. And we don't want that in that posture. We want a really nice long neck. So I'm going to make Susie do it properly. I'm going to ask her to grab her heels from behind. Yeah. So she scoops up her heels, standing on all 10 fingers with her baby fingers touching. So a lot of people in class can get that grip, but what they don't do is then work to get the forearms and the elbows touching. So once you've got the heels, you're then wiggling everything together as close as you can, so you've basically got forearms and elbows touching. Now, as you can see as I show you, my shoulders are away from my ears. That's totally different than if I were grabbing for the side. So Susie's looking pretty good right now. So forehead against the shins, pull on your heels, lift your hips. So Susie has absolutely no problem keeping her belly on her thighs because her hamstrings will allow her to do that. They're open enough. Now what happens with a lot of people, so Susie, if I ask you to do the elbow grip,
yeah,
and then if you can do the kind of belly comes away from thighs because you've gone for straight legs, yeah. So what often happens in class is everyone thinks that, oh my God, this posture is all about getting my legs straight. So legs straighten, but then there is a gap between tummy and thighs. That gap is bad because what we want to do is lengthen the base of Susie's back. Without her belly on her thighs, she's not going to create any length. So I'm going to ask her to bend her knees, get her belly on her thighs again, and then work to lift her seat bones up And then she's going to start to lengthen into her lower back. And now she's got to squeeze, either pulling on your elbows or holding onto her heels, and think about dragging her head to her toes. So the other thing that happens that Susie was showing you earlier is this tendency to look away. So by bringing chin in, forehead to knees, there's this lovely line all the way through her spine, and she can think about lengthening her spine using her arms and her legs as a lever to get that length out of the lower back. Right, Suze, you can come out. Can you think of anything else that I've missed?
Just that if you can't, what you should do, if obviously I can get straight legs.
Yeah, you make it look so easy.
But well, that's my one thing. I have good hamstrings, right? But if you can't, what do you do if you can't straighten your legs?
Okay, so I'll tell you what. I will demo because
Okay.
I have the shortest hamstrings in the world.
See, that's the one thing I'm lucky with, my hamstrings.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, even as a yoga teacher, and you would think I would be better than this, I have to hold here, and then that is probably as far as I'm going to go. So the other thing that sometimes happens in class as well is if people try to go deeper, the knees start to bow. So that's the other thing. I have to work really hard to keep my knees in. So kind of your arms cradling your legs are stopping your knees from coming apart. So again, depth doesn't matter as long as your belly is on your thighs and your forehead comes in to meet your shins, and then you're working towards straightening your legs. You can, I'm going to say this as politely as I can, if you're carrying a little bit of extra weight on your front, maybe we've all got a bit of a lockdown belly, you can separate your feet, and then there's a little bit of space for whatever front carriage you've got going on, and then you could grab like this as well. So if kind of getting belly on thighs with feet together is impossible, just go for separating your feet. Feet go directly underneath the hips, and then you can go like this. Again, if you can't grab elbows, so notice as soon as I open my legs, quite difficult for me to hold my elbows, you can just place your hands on the back of your shins, and then you lift. Did you mean that?
Yes, that's exactly what I meant.
Okay. Perfect. Okay guys, hopefully that was useful. As always, message us, let us know how you're getting on. We're happy to shoot as many of these little tips videos as you guys need. And hopefully we see you back on the mat again soon. Take care.